I will read the quote. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Thomas Jefferson, 1743 to 1826. He was our third U.S. president. It was submitted by Barbara Weatherwax. I stand firm on that point. Not so much even the going with the current with the clothing. Style doesn't matter, as you noticed.
Dear ones, today is the day that we step away from the drama, we step away from the noise, the distractions, and we take a moment. We just take a moment to be. It is in the being that you become. Ask the angels to embrace you. Ask the angels to nurture you. Then just be. Listen to your inner dialogue and connect to your deepest knowing, your deepest longings. The answers are within you. You know what you need. You do not need any outside authority to direct you. You are sovereign beings. God gave you your sovereign divinity to just shine by being in your essence. Take a moment now. Just breathe. Just be. It is in the being that we become one with God's love, God's nurture, and God's essence. God's essence is love, unconditional love. God's essence is truth, integrity, and oneness. When you search within, you meet God, and you become one with God's love, truth, and integrity. God is unconditional love, and the route home to oneness. This has been a channeling from Lord Kuthumi, planetary teacher.
The golden dome of light that exists as your multidimensional stargate is coming online. What this means is that each of you have access to greater amplifying capabilities of your own internal harmonics. This is important, for it is your own harmonics which broadcast and magnetize across dimensions, that which has harmonic resonance with you. It's how you create the experience of manifestation, the physical convergence of your experience with desires you have within your heart. The increased amplification of your inner light temple. I invite you to relate to your own sacred energy system as a temple for you, one with all that is, with God, with Source creation, sacred and holy. Your energy system is the dwelling place of your consciousness, your awareness, and also the means by which you are able to exist as a multidimensional energy systems capable of both interfacing locally and non-locally, meaning with the whole vastness of being. The amplification of your inner light temple allows you to let go of doing in ways that was not that easy for you to understand in the past. It allows for creation in new ways. Today I wish to explore this dynamic further and create greater understanding for you in opening yourself to this doorway of light. We call this a doorway of light, for light is energy, and in your experience your ability to conduct and transmit light, of increasing intensity and of higher frequency, is what creates enlargement of awareness and elevation of experience. There is an opening to vaster light that is available to you, to merge more fully with the stream of aliveness which you already experience, and it is calling out to you. It is these waves of incoming light and your increasing ability to integrate and vibrate in resonance with them, that allows you to ride the ascending energies as part of the vector, as one with the energy rather than having an experience of the energy, rather than being a more dense, rigid energy system which experiences as separate from itself and knows the energies in ways that create great challenges and potentially great discomfort. Stored within your DNA are elements of past civilizations and cultures. We repeatedly remind you that these exist and that they emerge in divine timing. In the Omniverse, divine timing refers to alignment, geometric, galactic, cosmic and energetic alignment. What this means is that when you exist energetically at a frequency and within a compatible energy system, then this level of vibration automatically releases stored aspects of your DNA which are now able to be realized, understood, integrated, worked with, lived from. It is these budding moments of time which are creating your continual experience of newness and of blossoming into your fuller self. There is great joy and a thrilling sense of upliftment when one remembers key aspects of experience, for the energy system inherently recognizes the value of this information being reinstated. This occurs in sequential fashion, although not in a linear fashion, sequential in terms of vibration, in terms of frequency, and it occurs in a spherically expanding fashion, accessing various corridors of light, creating radiance, as your field spins and gathers itself into fuller awareness and opens to glimpses of infinite time. One of the challenges you face increasingly in these coming days is to take yourself and your awakening seriously. The gap between those of you who have been the way showers, the early awakeners and the waves that quickly followed, and those who are still not aware of the broader dynamics in play and affecting their experience and the worldly events around them, is now quite enormous. The challenge arises as you are increasingly called to bring your lifestyle into greater alignment with your vibration and your knowing. Each of you are growing in your capacity to claim what you know, and this creates a sacredness to your experience. This appreciation of what is taking place is made possible by embracing and trusting in the reality of the planetary ascension process, and it brings the element of the sacred to your lives and into your energy field. It brightens the very nature of your energy. It is this awareness which facilitates your ability to most fully engage with solar flares, with the energy transmitted by sacred places and ley lines of the planet, the fertile quality of water, and the contact you have with your own multidimensional extensions of light. This sacred tenor of your vibration is urging you to bring your material expression into full alignment with your spiritual essence. Knowing how to do this, in a family, community, in society, and in a world in which many are still unaware of the presence of these ideals and experiences you know to be quite real, requires bravery, courage, wisdom and most of all faith. One of the primary things you may do which will nourish your faith is to take yourself and your experiences seriously and to cultivate the things in your life which validate and encourage you in doing so. This may include building relationships with other light workers who you resonate with near or far, reading inspirational information, creating rituals and practices, avoiding habits, but returning to a reverent, focused, sacred orientation and appreciation on a daily basis, being present in ways which keep you connected to your stream, regardless of the way people around you live. You cannot hold other people to your ideals and values, for this will only create conflict and suffering for both of you. Instead, using the enormous strength which you may underestimate and yet has been amply demonstrated throughout your own courageous awakening, release any last remaining vestiges of ego dominance and engage your mind in finding ways to be loving and peaceful to these other beings, while living life on your own terms. See them in your mind-heart vision as allowing you to be in your own energy field and you allowing them theirs. You will very naturally entrain them to your higher frequency as they are able to shift toward it. So that which you are capable of offering to them, in a desire to share your bliss, happens organically and with no need on your part to exert an effort. The focus that will benefit you most is to create a joy-filled life that reflects these indisputable values you hold so dear and realize the impact that will truly have energetically throughout the cosmos. The sacred dome of light opening within you is a virtual antennae, used for broadcasting and receiving multidimensional communication. It is a vertical conduit for energy which exists within you and it open to the vastness of being. The sacred dome is an etheric opening to the planes of light that exist beyond your local experience on the earth. This energetic transmitter resides within your energy field naturally, nestled within your heart chakra, and it is the sacred multidimensional temple of your being. Each of you exists as an energetic temple of light, embodying the potent uplifting energies of source creation as filtered and configured by your own energetic blueprint. This energetic genesis point can be expanded into a stargate. It can allow you to travel and transmit between points and beyond dimensional boundaries. It facilitates expanded communication with your star, angelic, or other soul and star families and allows you to use your physical body as a means of bringing the energy from these other locations into the earth plane. It is an expansion of the very channeling you innately do by conducting your own life force energy. It is an enlarged capacity of your human vessel and it places you in a powerful position to participate in creating the new earth. The doorway to this stargate within you exists in your heart chakra and is enabled by your clearing of this as well as your solar plexus and throat chakras. Your will and your voice are essential to actualizing the potential of this functionality. The capability is also facilitated by the sacred perspective toward your life experience as well as the refinement of your energy field to actualize your own living Merkaba in expanded ways beyond the initial potential of this configuration. Not all of you are preparing to open your field yet in these ways, but for many of you it is being initiated as you are preparing to become the multidimensional embodiment of your expansive focus, grounded and flowing through the focus of your human energy field. The meditation process that opens you most easily to discovering, connecting, and further opening the presence of this stargate is toning. The process of intuitively toning your own sound. By playing the vibrational keys which open you to expanded awareness, and then once you have discovered and established the resonant tones, repeating these, using them to cultivate a state of great bliss and expansiveness while remaining grounded. This is a process of syncing yourself and opening and connecting various grid alignment points and etheric energetic overlays. You will know when to stop, and once you have activated your field through this process, you may initiate communication and/or travel to cities of light of your choosing. Although many of you may travel to cities of light in meditations already, you are creating an access point within your own portal in this process that allows you to access many points and cities of light. Cities of light may also be accessed powerfully and directly while visiting sacred sites where cities of light exist, and to invite or request access. You may also request to be allowed entry and to travel there in your dreams. This process of learning and establishing a reliable connection with yourself in this fashion, and to begin, then to consciously explore the cities of light connected with your own lineage, is an important element to embracing your role as a multidimensional emissary of your own soul family, on Earth. I invite you to begin this process by joining with me in the Etheric Temple located at Lake Louise in Canada. The Vortex system located there is my earthly refuge. It is a powerful sacred location, and you may visit this by asking 3 times to enter and stating your desire to receive whatever experience, activations, information, and connections that will benefit you at this time. I welcome you there and am available at any time that you would wish to commune with me with the Legion of Michael or in a more intimate setting. The most beneficial arrangement will come forth unless you specify your intention. It is a great joy to share the energetic frequency of this place with any of you who wish to become familiar with the gifts present and to commune there with me. You are going to discover in the coming months that the call to open up and create a multidimensional lifestyle is urging and pressing from within you in all kinds of ways. 2012 is a year in which the emergence of the multidimensional lifestyle will be visible in those of you on the leading edge as you begin to remember the ancient ways and teachings of collaboration and co-creation and refresh these anew with the modern, divine knowing of your true nature. You will experience this as pressure, for it will be increasingly difficult and you will find old ways of living incompatible with your vibration, which is increasingly refined. It will be felt as pressure because you are feeling the impulse, strongly, to express and create in ways that are not already apparent. You will feel yourself and this strong energy urging to be given form and focus. So this is the source of the pressure. Do not concern yourself with this feeling in a way that is negative or of concern. Recognize it as the impulse to birth something new. Simply allow yourself to be altered and remade by the flow of your own energy and the transformative powers of your own inherent light. You have made this possible through your impeccability and your faith. It is the immense passion for life and love, along with your endurance and self-love throughout the difficult moments, which is preparing you for initiating the new earth through your own example of multidimensional living. The earth is comprised of secret agents, emissaries from many star, angelic and other families of the vastness of being. Realize that your focus is a convergence point facilitating your own lineage flowing into, merging and participating in the creation of the new earth. Allow your lifestyle to begin reflecting that which intuitively speaks to you. This will shape your environment, the way you relate to all of life on earth, the care of your body and mind, the expression of yourself through work and relationships, the things that you are drawn to as experiences of ease, joy, fun, and adventure, the level and quality of abundance which resonates and supports your thriving. All of this will be unique and reflect spirit as flowing through the particularity of you. So remain steadfast in your faith. Remind yourself that you are the energy is not happening to you. And return to an awareness of this next stage of embodying your fullest light. It is far more than you may realize what takes place by your conscious awareness of the procession of evolution taking place upon the planet. It creates a collective awareness of the possibility of understanding life and of being, so you being conscious and returning to a clear, aware understanding of what is underway, makes that viewpoint more accessible for others. I invite you to reflect upon this transmission. Particularly beautiful would be to reflect upon this in communion with nature, and to discern your sense of its relationship to your aliveness at this point. I welcome even greater communion and collaboration with you. I am available to you in all ways and at all times. I am Archangel Michael.
How very beautiful. Beautiful information. So let's get into it. Bringing forth your light is a natural progression. It is something that we have been preparing for over the 26,000 years of this round. Bringing forth your light is a frequency upgrade, constantly striving to keep and hold the highest level of frequency that you can. Does it mean that one day when you're having a bad day and you're crying and you're angry and frustrated is going to ruin everything? No. No. What happens is you reach another layer of your past that needs to be taken care of so that you can continue to go up in frequency. Now, in the first video, it spoke about just being, and we've talked about that quite a few times. In that moment, and this is about meditation, when you can just sit in the silence and just be, not expect anything, not want anything, not need anything, just rest in the silence, and everything that you need for that day will be downloaded silently, gently. Sometimes you'll feel a little tingling on your head, a chill on your spine. All of this is happening naturally. Now, they spoke about toning, and when we practice that toning, traveling around the world, I can tell you it does affect everything. It affects you personally, it affects your body, and each of your other bodies, your mental, emotional, and physical body. It affects your Merkaba, which is surrounding you, your encapsulation, let's say, all around you, your energy field, to keep it simple. It affects the frequency within that. And outside of your energy field, it affects everything around you. Just start to play with the toning high and then low. Just kind of get a rhythm to it. each one of us, when we traveled, had our own little tune we were kind of toning. Up, high, some of them were very high, some of them were very low, and some were right in the middle. And when you put that together, we created harmonics. Harmonics is harmonizing. And when you are harmonized inside, in your body, in your fields, everything outside will be harmonized. Your life will change. You'll no longer struggle. Everything will align for you. When you set yourself in divine order each day, before you leave the house, after you've called for the pillars of light to be around you, you will set yourself in divine order so that you are aligned with your divine plan. Sometimes we finish up one and start another right in the same day. Other times we're just working on one. Even on days when you just find yourself idling, as I say, where you're not out there with people, you're not really communicating at all, you're just home. There is things going on inside you. Your DNA is unleashing itself, making you aware of everything you've ever gathered, that you've been programmed to do. Each one of us has like a computer program set up. And that DNA is revealing itself to you. And people say to me, well, how do I make it happen? You don't. You don't. Your job is frequency. Keep raising it, because certain DNA information and even your Akashic record information will not be revealed to you when you have work to do to release the lower frequency energy, because as it's stated in this particular video and others, we are energy. We're energy. Everything is moving, changing, shifting constantly. Just like a music playing. I remember I was mesmerized by, in Florida, they have these beautiful displays of Christmas lights. And we were in a park and they had this really nice music playing, not like modern music, you know, the classical stuff. And with every tone, another light color flashed. It was so beautiful. And I was mesmerized by the whole thing, because that's what happens in your field. As sound comes from you, as energy is moving, it changes the colors, it shifts. It sometimes when you're upset, you'll notice it's kind of brown and blackish and looking very dark and shadowy. When you're in a very peaceful state, you'll have tons of greens and blues and like maybe some violet in there. When you're agitated, you'll see red and you'll see orange and all kinds of colors that are really what I call hot. And when you're just at peace, when you're just sitting there quietly, and you're in a state where you're communing with your higher self, you emit white light. You start to just have this sparkling white light, kind of when we have that screen with Jesus on it, and you see all those crystals coming down. That's what is your field, is filled with white light, with those little sparkling crystals of the Christ light that moves through you. So everything is affected by your energy frequency. That is what we need to do. And then everything else happens in its own time, because as stated before, you have to reach certain frequency for your gifts to come back, for everything to be in alignment with the divine. And it isn't something to struggle with. It's something that's happening as we speak. Just desire it with all your heart and soul. That's what Archangel Michael was getting across to us. We've talked about this night after night, Wednesday after Wednesday. We need to put this first. Our ascension must come first. I'm getting a message while I'm talking. That's why I hesitated. Okay, I'll talk about that. Yeah. And so that's our job. Our job is to get rid of the dense, heavy stuff, because it can't go into 5. And 5D frequency, even though your feet are firmly on the ground, you will be able to reach that consciousness while we're still here. A lot of you are all the way out of 3 now and working just in 4. Bravo. And you'll notice the difference in your life. The way you act or respond to things, you don't get yourself as lathered up and crazy when things are going down. You really have a different attitude. You're kinder, gentler with yourself and others. If you're not experiencing that with everybody, work on it when you're with that person that you can't seem to hold that frequency, and give it a lot of attention. Clear out what it is that's blocking you from giving that person that attention, that love, that gentleness, and free yourself and that person from having to show you what they've been showing you. But they wanted me to talk about it is, so we're going to find in our life that there are going to be people that are going to be the agitators. And what they're telling me to say to you is this: you should not hate anybody that you feel is doing wrong, that is not, going along with what you believe in your heart to be the right way to do things, because the truth is they have a part to play in your life. And that part is very important for us to realize that we're all working together, even though it doesn't seem like they're friends. In spirit, they really are, because they said before you came into embodiment, listen, I'll come along for the ride this time. I'll meet you when you're like 55 years old, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to give you a left hook. And I'll say, okay, that's good, because at that point I should be pretty much working on my spirituality and I'll be ready for it. So you come into bodies, everybody's doing their thing. 55 years old comes around and somebody enters your life. And this person could be the agitator, or it could be playing a different part. But in this particular case, that happens. Although it's difficult, we don't like them, we don't like what they're doing. But believe me, when you cross over into the next level, you're going to say to each other, boy, you really did your job good. You gave me a run for my money. And they're going to say, yeah, see, I love you that much. I loved you that much. I had to take you to your knees. But you know what? In the end, everybody comes together and has a good time, because we realized we did what we came to do. It's not fun to be the agitator. It seems like it would be, oh man, I'm going to get them. It isn't. It isn't, because you have the same issues. And you become aware of it as you are pulling your little agitation with somebody else. So nobody's home free. Nobody's just the teacher, and nobody's just the student. We're all working together, playing different parts in each other's lives, saying what we have to say, being who we need to be. We have to walk through the fire of life, face everything that God brings to you. Be fearless. Be a warrior, but a warrior of love, because we're not at war to fight anymore. We're bringing the light against the darkness. And it isn't easy, because the darkness has had free reign on the earth. But now it's our time. It's our time to shine and to bring that light to everyone that God brings to us. It's not in what you say. It's just being in your fields. As you heal, your energy field gives off a energy that is so beautiful and peaceful to be in that people won't want to leave you. Strangers will be drawn to you. Everyone will want to be in that light. I went to Canada on my way to Alaska, and I stopped at Lake Louise and the area where Archangel Michael has his retreat. And I didn't know that I had to ask 3 times to get entry. I just asked once, and I didn't get in. But that night when we stayed overnight, we had a motorhome, so we stayed in the motorhome. I know something happened. I know something happened. So maybe because I didn't know the rules, there's something about the number 3 that really works. And I always wondered why I would say amen and amen and amen. Well, it's because there's 3 different stages to sealing the deal. And it's the 3rd one that finishes it off. So when you pray, finish with 3 amens. When you're asking for something, ask 3 times. Okay? Yeah, lesson learned. But it's very beautiful where he is. Very beautiful area of Canada. I loved it there. I could have stayed there the rest of my life, but we didn't. Getting back. So there was some complex discussion on this one, and it really could tangle you up with the terminology. I'm going to simplify it for you. You are living a multi-dimensional life right now. Right now. We don't have to wait. We're not going to just go one realm at a time and work our way. We actually have come back from the future. So every realm that we have mastered, we still have under our belt. But that wasn't the purpose of coming here. We chose to come here to bring the light and hold the light for those millions of people that don't have a clue that that's what they have to do. They don't understand. They're not awake enough by choice or sometimes other reasons. And it's for us to just keep concentrating on ourselves. That is how we help the entire world and all life, even plants, animals, elementals, everything is being lifted with us. So don't worry about your children and grandchildren and cousins and aunts and uncles that you love. You are affecting everybody as you keep rising yourself up. It is such a beautiful dance. That's why I always say to you, put a smile on your face and have some fun with this. Have some fun with it. It's all happening. It's when we get careless that we have to stop and watch what we're doing and saying, and then correct it with violet fire, throw it into the fire and cleanse it, and then move on. Eventually, if you live with that conscious mind and consciously aware of what you say, think, and do, you will automatically do it. It will become your new way. No longer will you go back to the old way. You're rewriting the laws within you. You are a divine being. Don't look in the mirror and just see the physical and feel the limitation of that. You are unlimited because that physical vessel is just like your vehicle. It's your vehicle to move in density. On other planes, you don't need a vehicle. You are a body of light. I'm looking at your fields right now. All of you have one mission right now, and that's to finish up, release whatever it is that is blocking you from freedom. Freedom to express yourself, freedom to live your life in the way that you want to, freedom to think for yourself, not letting anyone tell you, no, you can't be you. You do it my way. You mold yourself to what I want you to be. Don't do it. Don't do it. There is no one that could be you. You are the only one that could be you. So be you. No one else can, they can imitate you, but they can't be you. They don't have the same tone that you do. They don't have the same mind, the same rules. They don't have the same anything. You are a sovereign being. God made only one of you. Although you could have duplicates running around like I do, and I'm sure everyone has said, somebody said to you, I saw someone, they looked just like you. It was unbelievable. When we were on our trip in Hawaii, we came across a woman. I started talking to her. I thought she was one of the girls that was traveling with me. She didn't speak English. She was speaking German when she did speak. And I went, you're Italian. What are you speaking German to me? And the woman couldn't speak English, and her husband came over and he explained that, that she doesn't speak English. And I'm looking for my lady that travels with me, and I found her. And I said, you are not going to believe this, but I saw your double. I mean, your double. So I brought her over to meet her, and she didn't make a big deal about it. And afterwards I said, she is the spitting image of you. And she goes, no, she's not. I said, what's your problem? Everybody else said she is. She said, she's ugly. She's ugly. I don't like how she looks. I said, she looks Italian. She's beautiful. And, but her pride and ego got in the way. All the other girls were just awestruck because this woman was one of her duplicates that was sent in, attached to her soul, and was working, and she had the privilege of meeting another aspect of herself. And it happened to me 3 times in my life that I met other aspects of myself. So we've got to get over ourselves. I'll tell you right now, we have to get over our ego, our sense of identifying with the physical rather than her energy field was her energy field. If I can't tell the difference, then nobody can. because I'm so sensitive to energy. But she wasn't looking at that. She was judging this lady because of her look. I thought she was beautiful personally. This is our problem. This is our 3D stuff that we have to get over. See the beauty in everything and in everyone. See the beauty. Make that your focus instead of what you can judge, which is 5D mentality. If we look at it from 3D and even 4, we're judging. We're looking at the negative and we're bringing that up instead of the beauty. Very big lesson for all of us. Free yourself. Free yourself from all that old stuff. And your frequency and your energy fields, everything will continue to rise. You will be so blessed because you're blessing yourself. There's nothing that you have to do or know that someone has to teach you. This isn't a learning experience in that way. Just someone to point in the right direction and then live consciously every day. Feel how you feel when you're with certain people. Some people you're going to love so much to be in their presence, and others you're going to like get the shudders to be near them. But bless everybody. Bless everyone. You don't have to hang out with everybody. Just be willing to bless them. There's some energy that is repulsing you. It could be that it matches something inside you that you don't want to look at, or it's just that that person needed your blessing. Do the blessing route. Don't miss an opportunity to bless someone or something. Remember, God lives inside you. There's nothing God doesn't know. You're not hiding from God. Your higher self is that point of God in you, the highest version of yourself, that Christed being that you will eventually completely and utterly be. And in this wonderful journey that we're going through, we will have completed, we will have mastered everything we needed to from the lower dimensions so that we can walk, just walk right through the veil into 5D like it was nothing. No pain, no strain. That's how easy it's going to be. So I want you to have fun with this. I want you to be easy on yourself and forgive yourself when you're not perfect, when you're not doing everything the way you think you should do it. Just let yourself be, because every once in a while, your higher self is going to kick in and say something through you. And it might not be anything that you were even thinking, but it had to come out. It had to be said. If you turn over your day to your divine self, you're going to be surprised at how many times that happens. And sometimes you don't even like what you said, but it was necessary. It was written into the script. We just forgot to read it that morning and remind ourselves. When you sit for a few moments, and I mean just a few moments, and ask for the download for the day, you will have read the script. And nothing's going to surprise you. People think they have to sit there and go through all of these different rigors and, I must say this and I must do that. Please don't be rigid with yourself. Talk from your heart to your higher self. Say what's in your heart. Speak from your heart. When you speak from your heart, people feel it in your heart, in their heart. When you just say things from your head, that's where people feel it, or they feel it in their gut and it doesn't feel good. Remember that. Your intention behind what you say and do is everything. If it's selfish because you want to be liked, so you do things so that really nice things all the time and put yourself out all the time because you want people to like you, it backfires. But if you do it because it's something that makes you feel good to do, it comes from your heart, it's the right thing to do, they receive it in their heart. And it really is a gift. You become the gift as you deliver yourself to them. It isn't in giving things. It's in giving your time, your heart, your soul to other people. Giving them what they need at that moment is understanding, kindness, attention. Somebody hear me. That's giving in its true form. I know many of you are doing this in your life. You are doing wonderful things. Some of it we owe to the people. Others, we're just doing it because we have an opportunity to do it. Don't worry about why. Just do it from your heart. Make each day a holy day because it is holy. It's the only moment that exists, is the holy moment you're in. Pray without ceasing, in gratitude for everything. A parking spot, a drink of water when you're thirsty, a sandwich shows up when you're hungry. Be in gratitude so that you keep the gratitude going from moment to moment. If you have any lack going on in your life, let go of the belief in lack. It doesn't exist except in our minds. You want to be abundant? Then believe that you are abundance. Thank God for the abundance. Even if you have $10 to your name, thank God for the abundance so that it can be piled on top of that 100-fold. There is no such thing as lack in a world that God has created. There is no shortage of anything but what man decides and makes it that way. There's never a shortage, not of natural resources, not of food. All of that is man doing what man does for whatever reasons. If you want your life to be free from that, then you rewrite your laws. You become walking abundance. We are very powerful, and what we believe is what we're going to live. So if you don't like something that's going on in your life, rewrite your law and then live by it. Hold true to it. Be a master, because that's who you are. You've all come back to redo this for others. You've already done it. Oops, we forgot. There's nothing new in this universe, believe me. We're just remembering. And hopefully every day we remember something else. And as we keep going up into a higher frequency, we will remember who we are, where we've been, what we've done, hopefully the good stuff. And anything that wasn't what we name good, it had to happen that way. So we learned from it. You see, we're like children come into a life and they don't know from anything. They have to learn. If you make everything very rigidly, keeping them safe all the time, they don't learn that if they fall, they can get back up. If they touch the hot oven, they're going to burn their hand. That's us. We don't remember all this that they talked about in the video. But just remember, everything is energy. Everything is vibrating at a different frequency. And that determines where you are in your ability to bring forward all of your DNA gifts. It's all recorded there and programmed in there. It will naturally happen. I've known all of you for a while now, and I see the changes in you. God bless you. You're getting it. And I hope I do too. As long as you're in a body, you're going to be getting it. So, my dear friends, this whole process, it is so complex. There is so much to it. And we get hung up sometimes on the detail, what something, exactly looks like or feels like, or how it will happen. You know what? It's just going to happen. Like childbirth. We don't have anything to do with the whole thing. It's just happening. And that baby's coming out. Well, we're going up. And we're going to continue to go moving through this 3D experience, which, honest to goodness, I've had enough of. I am so ready to move out into this 5D experience. For some reason, every time I get there, I end up on another assignment. I never hang out in heaven. But I think I'm going to take a vacation if my higher self approves. But really, I want you to know, don't get hung up on a lot of the detail, okay? Even though you may not hear your higher self telling you, or you figure out from the aspects of each of the rays which ray you're on, just be who you are, and you're carrying out your missions. And you are working on the rays that you're working on, or a ray, because that is where you are. You don't have to figure it out. Do you prefer the color green? It might be a hint to you. Do you get involved in healing? It might be a hint to you. You see? So just, I think, Tanya, you wouldn't have the chart that I was talking about. So if you send me an email, I'll send you the chart, okay? With all the masters and everything else on it. It's an old one, but they stay in their position for so many eons of time that I think we're pretty much going to be just fine knowing what we know. And these beings that are there's a lot of other beings working with them, and they work with us. You see, so I mean, the only reason I found out is because I needed to know for the assignments that I was doing planetarily. So I had to know who the masters were, so it was given to me. And not everybody has the full planet on their plate to work with. So not to worry, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are genuinely you. Be you. Don't hold back. Don't make believe you're someone else to please someone, or to get because somebody tells us they want us to be a certain way. That's not fair to you, and that's not going to fulfill who you are. It's like your name, your full name vibrates at a certain frequency. Your birth date, the numbers vibrate at a certain frequency. All of this is part of the complexity of who you are and how you develop. That's why it's so important not to use a nickname for yourself. Use your name. It's very important vibration. And as you say it, you keep honing into your divine self. Everything is very specifically given for a reason. You know, I used to question everything. I learned, you know what? That's all a mental exercise. We are much more than that. We're full consciousness. And our DNA and our Akashic records are all available to us at nighttime. I promise you, you curious ones, you are reading your records. You do know on some level of your being a lot of your story, or maybe all of it, if that's possible, because you've been here forever and you're going to be here forever. Not here, but I mean existing. God forbid, this is it. Oh my goodness. So keep shining your light. Find the joy in your life. Whatever you're doing, whoever you're influencing, whoever you're with, find joy in it. It's so important. I don't mean happiness, because that's very fleeting. I mean joy, which is permanent. That is a permanent aspect of God. Happiness doesn't even come into the play. But joy does. And it actually is held in your pancreas. And if your joy is taken from you, and I mean by your own self, because you're not a victim of anyone or anything, then it will affect the pancreas. Kidneys is fear. Liver holds rage. Heart holds love. Every part of your body has an energy involved in it and a purpose. And if we mess with it, if it's not in harmony, and if it's not in a state of balance, that's when we run into disease and we have problems. Once that disease is solidified, it's pretty hard to get rid of. If you catch it early on, you're able to absolutely turn it around. Yeah. But once it becomes physical, which is, people think that's the beginning, that's the end, because every disease and problem of the physical was because of a mental and emotional state that we're in. You see? So it isn't the other way around, where you see the disease and you can fix it because it's out on the outer body and you see it, or it's affecting your life. It's the other way around. Everything happens from the inside out, and the outer body shows the effects of it eventually. Don't worry about anything, because worry will never fix anything. Bless it. Work with the light in areas where you feel there's need for change, balance, and harmony. Do your toning, enjoy oming and singing songs in your head that you love, and then start to vocalize it so that it vibrates your vocal cords and your chakra system. Be kind and gentle with yourself. Be firm when you have to. Hold true to your principles, as Thomas Jefferson had said. That is so important. Don't give up your beliefs in things that are vitally important, like your love for your country, your love for your family, normality in your life, wanting things orderly and acceptable. and blessed rather than chaos and pain and hurt. Set yourself up for success. Don't be weak. Stand tall and strong against anything of the darkness that is trying to infiltrate everybody's life. Don't fall for it and don't believe it. Love yourself first. It's very important to forgive yourself. Always forgive yourself for anything that you feel you need to. You're here to do a job, and sometimes it isn't pretty. Every one of you are very important in the divine plan for the planet and God's plan for you that is in your DNA programming needs to play out. Remember that. It isn't always going to be a bowl of joy. It's going to be days of work. You can do this. You would never have come in at this time for this purpose to hold the light if you couldn't do it. You know how people say God never gives you more than you can handle? Well, that's your own higher self saying, stand up and stop your whining and get done with what you came to do. Because you can do it. You're a divine being. You have no limitation. Nothing. Nothing to limit you. You're free as long as you let yourself be free. You can be in prison and be free because it's from the inside that you give freedom to yourself. If you don't feel love, start loving yourself first. Because when you do that, you change your mind about everything and it reflects out into your world. Whatever it is that's not happening, that is making you unhappy, change your mind and fix it because nothing out there is doing it to you. Your world is your responsibility. It's what your consciousness is putting out there. And this world was set up, this matrix is to reflect what we believe. I've heard people over the many years that I've counseled, I am a creator. I make my life. Look at what I've done. But on the days when things go bad, they don't believe that they created that. It had to be somebody else or something else. That's not true. That is not true. Everything that happens out there is because of what's going on in here. That's why I always tell you it's an inside job. Fix it up inside, and your world will show you just how beautiful you are. And you'll draw the people to you, these beautiful souls. And you'll say, oh my God, all these nice people are coming into my life. Yes, because you're healing inside. And that light that's emanating from you is drawing them to you. It's the greatest gift you give yourself. It all starts with conscious living. And then being willing to be impeccably honest with yourself. You can fool yourself. You can hide from yourself. But it doesn't help you to master and to move beyond. Be willing to do the work. Find it to be your joy. Be nice to yourself and everyone in your life. Give of your time, your patience, your kindness. That's what people want, and that's what they seek. Because most people feel very misunderstood. very lonely. They're surrounded by people they don't understand because they weren't meant to. They were only meant to understand themselves. So with all this in mind, radiant beings of light, just be. Just be. And in that being is everything. You connect with your divine self, with your guides, everyone that's working with you, the benevolent beings, the ETs that are good guys, everyone and everything is in that holy, silent moment when you're not thinking, you're not trying to figure it out. You're just resting in the divine moment. And then you go out in the world and do your thing.